Hello ladies and gentlemen, and good evening. Welcome to tonight's live stream. So as you can probably guess from the title, today we're going to take the cucumber out for a little test flight. The shields on it has been reworked, and I hope they're going to hold up. So far it's just all been theory crafting. This is the first time I specifically waited taking this out, because it's the first time this is actually going to get out and get some real airtime with the new shields based on the software I've made. There was a quick question in chat which you want to answer. Daniel, you asked about the song in the beginning. It's Claire de Lune, in case you're wondering. So I just quickly want to, before we actually go and have a look at the ship, I am going to post the build in the chat, so don't worry about it. I will post a link here in a second. But I just want to show you something else real quick. If you have been following the work I've been doing on the shields testing software here, one of the latest changes I've done, which I added in yesterday, is now you can actually type in the specific ship that you're flying. So no longer are we forced to only be looking at the Anaconda, which it was kind of hard-coded for in the past. I'm just going to quickly find a file here. So that's one of the latest changes that's been added, so you can now do that. Shield tester. Yes, so if we look at ship stats, you can see now I just added in all the shields, all the ships in here. So now it's possible to just go in and, oops, there is the configuration. How many hours have I played Elite Dangerous? Too many. But yeah, so now you can put in the ship name, you can put in the size of the shield generator, how many shield boosters you have fitted, how many hit points you have in your shield cell banks, how many hit points you get from Guardian Shield Reinforcement packs, how much damage you're receiving from explosive, kinetic, thermal, and absolute, and the damage effectiveness. Never too many. We can go and look at that in a second here. But again, so far all of this has just been on paper. I should say all these changes here, they were pushed yesterday, so you can go and make a fresh poll if you're interested. Does it automatically take into account the largest shield for the designated ship? You have to type in the size of shield generator you're fitting here. So if I, for instance, say I want to fly Corvette, but I only want to fit a class 6 shield, I could type that in, and it would then begin calculating based on that. Cool, Andrew. I'm planning to do a deep dive in this, and the main reason why I've been waiting with this is because the difficult part was to take the hull mass and the base strength and figure out how you calculate the actual shield hit points. that was a bit of interesting. There's one here called Get Shield Hit Points. Basically, this is what you have to do to calculate the hit points based on... Yeah, anyway. I think I've been stalling you guys for long enough now. I hope, at least. Let's jump back in game. The reason why I've been stalling for time is because the cucumber is actually still in transit. Yeah, okay, there's still 2 minutes left, so that's why I've been stalling a bit for time, as waiting for it to actually arrive. I was a little late on the ship transfer. How many hours have I been playing Elite? Let's have a look, actually, while we're waiting. That would probably be somewhere in the Codex, I guess. And then it's under Commanders, and it's under Stats, and then it put it under Exploration of everything. So approximately the time played is 12 weeks and 5 days. 12 weeks and 5 days. How much is that? $12 times 7. That's days. Plus 5. Times 24. That's 2,136 on this character. I have 2 other characters as well. I thought I'd ask, whenever they eventually bring out the free kits, are you going to try and apply this to the program as well? Well, I'm not so sure whether you're going to be able to fit fleet carriers. I don't think fleet carriers is going to be piloted in the same way of these. It's going to be more like closer to a mega ship. I'm not sure you're going to have internal modules where you fit things. But if we can fit stuff, you can be absolutely sure that yes, I will definitely implement fleet carriers into the program as well. Anything we can fit on it, we're going to min-max that to hell and back. While you have a look, take a look at the mega melt of PM'd your link. Where? Yeah, you can't post it there. Yeah, exactly. It's a good point over on Twitch that they have said that fleet carriers are indestructible. And if they're indestructible, why fit shields? I mean, I guess maybe modules could be damaged, but I don't think... If you're expecting that you get something just like an oversized ship you can fit exactly as you would with a normal ship, I think you're going to be disappointed, because I don't think that's the way they're going to be. I think you're going to have the option to add various like the support ships, but other than that, it's just going to function as a station basically. I think you have to think of fleet carriers being closer to a station than a ship. Anyway, how are we doing for time? Hey, it's here. The cucumber. Prismatic, just quickly looking over. Resistant thermal block. Oh, was that a thermic resistant? Thermal resistant thermal block. Oh, because you have heavy duty on the main shield generator. Yeah. Okay, this is actually... Yeah, hold on. Let me just get a build link up from the ship here, from the Cucumber's current version. I don't have a link, so I have to build one real quick here. Give me a second. Boom. Okay, so just so we can have a look at the build here before we head out. So this is actually put me in some other corner because that's a bit annoying having me up there. Okay, this is the current build as it stands right now. And as you can see, it has quite good hit points. But look at the absolute, like the total number of hit points is quite low, but the resistances are through the roof. All of them are 70 plus. Because I think the way that I'm going to try to play this is that we're not going to have a whole lot of hit points, but we have a whole lot of shield cell banks. Why B-rated shield cell bank versus A-rated? A-rated has slightly more like shield reinforcement per cell, but you get an extra cell on B-rated, and that means that B-rated overall carries more hit points with it. So if you fire off all your cells in a class A versus in a class B, you get more shield hit points out of a B than an A, but in an A you get more per charge, so it's a bit of a trade-off. But look at this, 611 megajoules regenerated, right? That's like, what is that? 25%? Almost 20%? No, hold on. Times 5, we get up there. Yeah, okay. So it's about 20% of our total hit points that we're regenerating per shield cell bank. Look at your build. So you have a bit of a hole in your thermal. You're down to about 1,000 hit points lower than I am, but you have more kinetic and you probably have more explosive. Oh, yeah, so you have more explosive and kinetic, but less thermal. And you have more than twice the number of base hit points. But again, you're not firing any shield cell banks anyway, so that doesn't really matter how many hit points you have. But that's going to be interesting to see. So if your shield drops and you fire all your banks, you will only get... No. I'll get 20% per bank. So I have... Here I have a full recharge and a full recharge. So I have like two full recharged plus 40% of my shields in shield cell banks. That's a lot of shield cell banks. You might see here we're not running any... I have to check that I actually set all this up correctly. We don't have any heat sinks, but the way we're going to handle that is just go long range beam lasers with thermal vent. Katina says, unless you sat in the high intensity conflict zone, letting all 4 spec op ships fire at you while you go on holiday for a week, this is insanely overkill. That's the point. This is supposed to be insanely overkill. I think this will be fun. Let's just go in and check that the setup is correct in game. And then I think we're gonna go and give this a go and take this into space and see how this shield holds up. So I'm just gonna keep the build over here so I can actually see what I'm doing while we just quickly run over it. Oh yeah, I promised you guys a link, didn't I? I'll better post a link. I should say though, as I always do when I do these shipbuilding live streams, this is not necessarily the final version of the ship. Today is a test flight. I might discover some things that I'm not pleased with in the build, and if I do that, I will change it. So keep in mind that the build that I posted in the chat is a current test build. It's not the finished version necessarily. It may be, we're not sure. Okay, long range thermal vent on these, and that one, and that one. And for the core internals, did we get the right sensors on? No, we actually didn't. We still have D-rated sensors on. I don't think that's right. Oh, no, it is right. Sorry, my bad. Oh, I just generated the link. Just look here. Resistance force block, resistance force block, force block. Yes, okay. So all we have to do is just check our fire groups, make sure they're set up correctly. Add our modules. You can see here we have a Guardian FSD booster. Let's put that online. There we go. Activating that. We've got to make sure our Guardian FSD booster is in fire in priority group 2. Same with our fuel scoop. Not our power distributor. We definitely want that in group 1. I think those are the only 3 modules that we want in group 2. Yes, that is. But that means, because you can see here we're using 107% of our energy, as soon as we deploy our weapons, our Guardian FSD booster, our fuel scoop, and our FSD is gonna go offline. Can I run this build with 4 pips to shield and 2 pips to weapons without draining weapons too much? That depends how much I'm using my lasers. My lasers will drain. Because it's not efficient, they're long range. That means they are consuming a bit more power. And collector, we don't need that data link scanner anymore. And the discovery scanner might be nice to have in that second group. Okay, I think we're ready. We're down here close to the community goal. Unfortunately, there is no conflict zones, but I did spot a system that's in a war right next door, so we're gonna head there, and we're gonna go and shoot up some NPCs in the next door system. I'm not so sure burst lasers has thermal vent. That's the issue. The lasers on the ship kind of serves 2 purposes. The main purpose is to do... not the main purpose. The main purpose is to cool the ship. The secondary purpose is to do thermal damage to shields. I don't think that... I think only beam lasers, at least of the lasers, has thermal vent, if I recall correctly. But I will check it, because I'm actually not 100% sure. There is no thermal vent on pulse, and if we go burst, there is no thermal vent either. So only beam lasers has thermal vent. Exactly, beam also has healing. It's kind of the trade-off that you get, right? That you use beam lasers, which consumes a lot of energy, but you gain access to all these amazing experimental effects, like regeneration sequence and thermal vent. Okay, let's find some things to shoot at. Where's the closest high intensity? It's right there. So it's value party versus blue legal comp. I guess, who are we gonna fight for? So value party is a democracy. Blue legal is corporate. So yeah, but I have an FMU, but I have that specifically because I want to use it in combat if I need to. We gotta see how much scrambling spectrum we're gonna encounter. Okay, so blue legal is defending a oversight course, which is basically a surface installation, right? Whereas they're trying to take over a station. So in the interest of keeping the status quo, I guess I'm just gonna go and fight for blue legal. Again, I don't know if there's anyone doing BGS in the area, and I have no interest in in trying to mess with their with their BGS. Oh, there's also war here between those two guys. Yeah, okay. They're both native to the system. I don't know. Who's currently conflict state? It's nobody's like winning or losing the war right now. Anyone owns any stations in the system? Just check that. I think they only own like Value Party owns that station. So we're gonna be fighting for Value Party so they can keep their station. So there's a few things we need to be very, very ops on when we're flying this build. That is PAs. PAs does a small amount of absolute damage that will go straight through our resistances, and since this is a heavy, heavy resistance tank, if we see PAs, they are going to die, and they're going to die quickly. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm not expecting that I'm gonna do a whole lot. I mean, I might just not hand in the bounties until later on. But again, if someone is doing BGS in the area, I have no intentions of meddling in whatever they're trying to do. So I normally, when I find a random conflict zone, I normally try to fight for whatever's keeping the status quo. It might be that they're trying to take over some stations or move stations around, but at least then I'm not forcing someone to lose a station. Yeah, we'll see what we can do against PAs. But yeah, I think I'll be fighting for Value Party. Thanks so much for the follow on Twitch. So that's the power plant shutting off the FSD and the other modules. If this one is even active. Oh, there we go. Stuff is popping into existence. Let's find something to shoot at. Okay, we're gonna start easy and we're gonna go for an Asp Explorer. Oh, we have long-range beams. I have to remember that. So you can see beams, they will drain with only 2 in weapon capacitor. But again, we're not being shot at right now, so it's not a big deal. Now we should be in multi-cannon range. We can actually be effective here. Hey, Space Cow! Space Cow already lost his shields. Protect allied correspondence, eliminate element. Oh, okay. War correspondent, here we go. Oh, he was very close.
You're on a roll, Commander.
Ah, you hear that? Look at my heat levels. I'm down to 16% heat right now. He's running. You're not going anywhere. Okay, he bugged off. Oh, here we go. Finally someone shooting at us. No? Okay, they changed their mind. God damn it, I need someone to... Yeah, I know. I need someone to shoot at me. %2 heat. Windshield is freezing up. There we go, his shield is down. Time to open up with the multi-cannons as well. So now he's shooting back. Or trying to, at least. That's our correspondence. Oh, they're all dead. Okay. Asp Explorer. When in doubt, annoy the police. That is an option too, yeah. Let's see what we can do against a little cute Asp Exploder. See the ice on the windshield? Maybe you don't. Okay, we need something bigger to shoot at us. And with those long-range beams, we should be able to take out the shields at 2 kilometers, something you wouldn't be able to do with Efficient. So we actually managed to take down his shields there before he was even in range of Efficient beams. Problem is, the colder your ship gets, the less likely is someone to shoot at you. Well, that's just the benefit, I guess. I'll find something to shoot at. If nothing else, I'll just go in and I'll annoy some pirates in a belt somewhere. Oh, hold on. Here we go. That's more like it. See if we can go and piss off an anaconda. Here we go. Deadly anaconda. That's more like it. Come on, shoot at me. I've got to fire back. I mean, I'm doing everything. I'm just sitting still. Everything I can to make me set myself an as easy target as possible. That took a while to beam down his shields. Go annoy a station. No, don't explode already. Yeah, I know there's a guy shooting at me from behind as well. We'll deal with him afterwards. Thermal attack gaining heat. 2%.
Nicely done, Commander.
We'll go and find a wing somewhere, and then we'll try to see what... We have to try and really push the shields a little bit. Oh, here we go. PAs. That's more like it. That should be our weakness. My multi-cannons are running overcharged autoloader. Notice here my multi-cannons, you can see down the two large ones, they're reloading automatically here while they are just sitting there. That's really awesome. We might have to do some, see if we can find some Kill the Pirate Lords missions. They usually have multiple ships in there with plenty of firepower. Oh, okay. Bye-bye. No? There we go.
You got him. Well done, Commander.
Oh, hold on. You there. Need some pips to engines here. And back to weapons. Over to shields. To weapons. To shields. And back to weapons now. Is this a straight resistant bi-weave shield? No, this is a straight resistance prismatic build. Of all things. See, now we're beginning to take some damage. Let's get some pips into our shields. It sounds like cannons, so it's some kind of kinetic. Okay, so who is it who is...
You're on a roll, Commander.
I saw an eagle. It's just for fun, kill an eagle. Oh, I thought I rammed him. I can't hit him with the multi-cannons at this kind of range. The cooling is definitely not an issue. The cooling by the beam lasers is being handled very well.
Another one down. Keep going, Commander.
Asp Scout is all small stuff right now.
Good shooting, Commander.
This is not a PvP build, and I'm not a PvP pilot. There's no point in me trying to go in and hunt players. And that's not what this is built for anyway. This is not a PvP build. Well, so didn't he die?
Good shooting, Commander.
Okay, we should almost be done here. Oh, something's shooting at me. Was that the Viper? I think it was. Oh, is he running frags and PAs? At least if I was building this for PvP, I wouldn't leave such a gaping hole versus plasma accelerators, because I know a lot of PvPers seems to like plasma accelerators for some reason. I guess because of the absolute damage.
Good shooting, Commander.
Oh, I will say that's both shield cell banks, PAs, and chaff. And also an elite, so I guess that makes sense. Well, if I can't shoot him, I'm gonna ram him. Are you done chaffing already? There we go. He's down. There he is.
Good shooting, Commander.
We're gonna go and find some, see if we can't find some wing assassination missions after this. That should be a bit more of a challenge than this. For a good interdictor setup, I have no idea. An FSD interdictor is probably a good choice.
You got him.
But if you're looking for PvP advice, you really come to the wrong guy. Anything else I can probably help with, but PvP? No. Oh, maybe I should put some pips into weapons. There we go.
Good shooting, Commander.
Okay, looks like there's but one target left. Let's go for a vulture and let's try to fire off a shield cell bank. And let's see if we can't try out to see how well these beams are gonna handle that. Guess that's the best job with our best test we can do right now. Oh, hold on. Or and Deadly Anaconda, that would be fun too. I'm just gonna try a shield cell bang on the Deadly Anaconda, just, you know, for fun and giggles. Okay, so we gotta fire off the shield cell bank and then try to keep it off sight. Here we go. And there we go. We managed to keep it at 80%. Let's see how much shield we get. That was okay. Oh, he jumped. But looks like it's over as well. Yeah, there was a heat build-up. We got all the way up to 80% before I managed to stop it with the lasers. Okay, that went quite well. Let's try to see if we can't find some Kill the Pirate Lords missions. Oh, there's a planet or moon in the way. Oh yeah. Have to get used to that. Get the weapons away. And then wait a second for the FSD to come back online. And now we can fly. Thermal vents are great. They are awesome. Does thermal vent stack? Yes, they do. So the more lasers you have with thermal vent, the more heat you're going to dissipate. But only when you hit. When you miss, you generate even more heat than they normally do. No, I think it's proportional to the damage recycled. At least I have noticed that when I'm running long-range beam lasers, the cooling effect is a lot more than if I'm running efficient. And I think that's because maybe it's proportional to the amount of heat being generated by the weapon itself. I think that's how it works, at least. So if you put a small beam laser on it and put thermal vent, then I think you're going to dissipate less heat than if you use larger beam lasers. Like, the thermal vent is not a status effect. Yeah, so it is the thermal load. So the more heat the weapon is generating, the more heat is going to dissipate. And that's why if you're running efficient, that gives a minus 80% to your heat efficiency or something like that. It's quite a lot. I'm not sure if it's damage delivery. I think it's on thermal capacity. Which would explain why long range is so much more efficient at venting heat, because they generate a lot more heat, so they have more of it to vent. Yeah, but short-range lasers, they're gonna be able to hit like 300 meters out for the fall-off, 150 for the max range. They're basically gonna be able to do nothing, unless you are like scraping paint with them. So far, I'm liking this build quite a bit. I mean, we lost about, what, one ring at some point. And we fight over shield cell bank just to get that back. Not that we really needed it, but... Yeah, but recycle, remember that you're only venting heat whenever you actually do damage with them. So the reason why I like long range is because if I need to fire off a shield cell bank in an emergency, I have an optimal fall off all the way out to like 6 kilometers. And that means potentially I can vent the same heat rather they are 500 meters or 6 kilometers away. That's not entirely true, because there is a little bit of jitter in gimbaled weapons, and they're not going to be able to hit as effective out at 6 kilometers as they would in closure, of course. But the fact that you can vent heat at least effectively, I would say, out to like 2.5 or 3 kilometers is quite good compared to what you would get on the normal lasers. What's going on?
Permission authorized. Adjust heading for approach to pad 17.
Okay, I'm not so sure if they have any pirate missions, but let's see if we can find some. They do. And they are even available to us. This is a master level. Here we have an elite mission. Need to assassinate a known terrorist, blah blah. Interact with the hub access terminal data link at some... Okay, we can't just scan the nav beacon. Yeah, but I don't think there's any wing versions of them around. Not from this faction, at least. Killing more known terrorists. There's a wing version. Scan the nav beacon in that system. Or use your discovery scanner to locate the target signal source. Collect your reward. Okay. This should be fun. Did I repair my ship? I did.
Ship released. You are clear to leave.
Oops, that's a little high. There we go. Also, take one sort of... I don't think that matters here. I think as soon as we get into the instance, they're just gonna attack me on sight. No, they're not actually. Don't they wait until you shoot at one of them?
Oncoming traffic. Restrict your speed.
Yeah, we'll try to clear that. We'll see what happens. We'll try to stay alive in there for as long as I can. I mean... They have to chew through at the very least...
Flight control signing off.
34,000 hit points, effective hit points, unless they're all shooting PAs, which I doubt. I don't care what you're flying and how many ships you are. 34,000 effective hit points. It's gonna take a while to shoot down. Bring cargo to Hashras. Yeah, we can bring gold into Hashras as well. Oh, do we get a... Oh, I should be over here in the transactions tab. Scan the nav beacon, or use your discovery scanner to locate the target signal source. I do not see anything. Okay, let's try that again then. Yeah, the pirates may have phasing, and phasing is going to be a huge issue for this build as well. So we'll have to try and see what we can do. Okay. Use the FSS scanner. I don't think the FSS scanner is going to do us much good. You know what? We're just going to scan the nav beacon. That should be a lot faster. Yeah, I don't think there is any mission signal sources close to us right now. It's probably... I really don't hope it's out close to those 100,000 light years away planets. There's a conflict zone. What's the rebuy actually on this one, just in case? 50 million, it's not too bad. Yeah, with my luck, it's probably going to be at the other end of the system. No, I've got 40 billion. I only got 12.7. The rebuy cost is 48 million.
Frameshift drive charging. Ready to engage.
Oh. Well, that's not too bad. Okay, 32,000. I'm gonna throttle down so we take it nice and slow, and then I'll take a quick bio break because I forgot to do that before we started. So I'll see you guys in a few minutes. And we're back and still flying. Could have throttled up, I think, before I left, but I didn't want to risk overshooting. I have to fly back. Anyway, this will be a good time to just remind you guys that... Hold on, let me get... There we go. If you're enjoying the stream, remember to go down and give a like. Really helps out a lot. And also, while you're down below the stream, you'll find link to the Discord server if you want to come by and join the channel's community, where we not only play Elite, but also all kinds of other games. You'll also find links for both one-time donations, Patreon, and the merch store, where you can get cool mugs like the Carlos one I have here, and t-shirt, hoodies, all that kind of stuff. There's some pretty cool ones over there, so go over and have a look. Okay, 17,000. Yeah, this is definitely the definition of a back alley in the solar system. Where are we even at? I mean, it's not even close to anything. There's nothing out there. The nearest things to us is the main star. They are... they're just out... Hold on. So we started in here at star A. And we're just flying out in that direction. There's nothing out there. Okay. Let's see what this thing can do. Flanking maneuver. Aha, but we have the surprise. They will not expect anyone to find them all out here, that's for sure. Okay, let's see what we got. I see 6 ships. I see... Okay. Let's take down the Fertilance first. Wait for him to turn off. And open fire. Yeah, so right now they're firing facing at us. You can see they have we have taken a little bit of hull damage. He's still... Wow, he's not taking any damage, is he? Hold on, have I only... Hold on, I only aggroed half of them. Let's go and aggro the rest. Oh, hold on, shit, he's clean. Oops. Nah, never mind. Now we should have plenty of stuff firing back at us. So I'm not too keen on taking too many pips away from my shields right now, because with this many ships firing back at me, that could potentially be my shields dropping really quickly. Okay, there's the mission target. Let's take him down. Shields and banks. Yeah, we're gonna wait a little bit here. Actually, you know what? We could fire off a shield cell bank. That should probably be okay. I'm just with this guy. He has a tendency to yeah, to do that. To fire off chaff. But we managed our heat quite nicely, even though he fired chaff. Let's fire off another one. Oh, that is bad. Okay, so we overheated there because he fired chaff and I couldn't hit him at range. So let's just cool our ship down real quick. There we go. If this guy would stop chaffing for a second. %70 hull, that's fine. I like that the in-flight system is telling me that I'm under attack. And he's firing shield cell banks. Oh, the infinite chaff. Gotta wait for him to stop chaffing. And then we're gonna fire up another shield cell bank. Come on, drop his shields already. Finally. 50% or 55%. Almost got this guy. Come on! Ah, screw this. Okay, he's gone. Hey, thanks for the follow on Twitch. Sorry if I'm not reading chat at the moment. I'm just waiting for this guy to go down. Then I'll try to catch up on what you guys been posting. There we go. Apart from a few sidewinders. Doing their level best. Okay. Well, that went okay, I think. Apart from, like, shooting up the good guys as well, but it's okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, A plus for effort to the Sidewinders. Come on. Thank you, Warrenston, for the for the €2 donation or the super chat. There we go. Now it's online. Lesson from this: need more hull integrity. We might be able to squeeze in a little bit of hull integrity. Recycle. I normally just look at something that, or look at where there's nothing ahead, and then target lock in that direction to break the target lock. Hey, we have a bounty here as well. Wonderful. That's going to be interesting. So yeah, as you can see, facing secrets is definitely something we need to be aware of, because they managed to take down half our hull. So what can we do to improve that? Let's just, hold on, let's just make a fresh copy here, because I think this one is an altered version where we're playing around with the weapons. There we go. So, I mean, we have plenty of shield cell banks. What I'm considering is dropping the fighter hangar. Because to be honest, I don't use the fighter hangar that often. Some may like it, but I think we can do better. Oh. Hold on, you know what we could do? Look at this. Hold on, let me just go in game and stop my ship here for a second. Because I have reactive surface armors on, right? Which has a minus 33% thermal damage. So if the trick here is we want to protect ourselves against phasing sequence. The phasing sequence are lasers. Phasing sequence do absolute damage, are you sure? It is a bleed-through modulating burst fire designed to defeat shielding. Around 9% of the damage applies to bleed through the shield and attack the target's hull directly, doing absolute damage. You're right. Viki is wrong, are you sure? Okay, if we work under the assumption that phasing sequence do the damage type of the weapon, then I could actually go and change this out for, let's just try something. What is it? Mirrored, right? Because previously we had this one with heavy duty deep plating, right? So previously our effective thermal hit points is 1,300, which is not a lot. But if we switch this over to mirrored, yes. And then go thermal resistant and more thermal resistant. We can double it. Percent of output damage, ignore resistances and ignore fall off. At the cost of 10% damage reduction, the damage that passes through shields seems to be calculated off the damage shown in weapon statistics before taking into account target's resistance and damage fall off from excessive range. Wait, bleed through ignores... Phasing ignores fall off as well? But regardless... Okay, what if we just wanted the most, like, all-round armor? That's probably military grade. No. Not mirrored, that's for sure. Minus 40, minus 20 is 0. That's the standard. Huh. What if we switch this over to mirrored? It means if anybody, I mean, if our shield drops, we're dead. Because if anybody fires any kinetic or explosive at our hull, we're gonna blow up in no time. Okay, thermal heavy duty deep plating is 1300. What about thermal resistance? That's already more. You're right, recycled. We could just go with a like balls to the walls thing and go mirrored and say explosive kinetic damage can't phase, so we're gonna count on our shields never dropping. And then just go like tank that resistance even more. What's deep plating? 2700? Okay, so here we're actually better going off with deep plating as the experimental effect. So a mirrored thermal resistant deep plating, and then we put in a hull reinforcement as well. Hold on, let's just get a copy up of the original as it is right now, because I might actually want to change that out. So current version has 1350, like in round numbers, right? Thermal resistant, I'm just going to try here, deep plating. 279. So again, deep plating is better. What if we should go heavy duty? Wait, what was it before? Hold on, what's the best? The best so far is we've seen is this one at 4279. But if we switch this out for a heavy duty, we're already better. Heavy duty deep plating. I mean, this alone would give us... That's 2, 6, 2, 7, 3, 4, more than 3 times. More than 3 times the effective hit points. That means in this case, when they would normally have taken down, they've taken down 66%, now they would only have taken down a third of that. That is 22%, meaning instead of sitting at 44%, we'll be sitting at 78%. If it works as we think. I would have to figure that out somehow. And we still have like 2,000 in raw hit points from in case someone comes and fires phasing sequence PAs at us, and that bleeds through. Time for a whole calculator program. I guess eventually, yes, we would have to do a whole calculating program. Okay, I want to check something else. So with all that bleed-through damage, our modules didn't take a whole lot of damage. So I'm considering whether it's actually worth having that AFMU on it. Because the trick with hull reinforcement is it benefits greatly. Hold on. What? Yeah, repair limpet, we could use repair limpets, but we have to remember, Dongalora, that we can't use repair limpets when being shot at. So I don't think that's going to be too useful. But I'm considering getting rid of the AFMU. Because if we drop that, that normally uses a decent amount of power. Yeah, but the module reinforcement, I mean, look at this if we go in game. Look, 99, there's one here, someone here is 97, 96% there on one of the shield boosters. These are all the surface components, right? Most of my internal components haven't taken any damage at all. See, it's all the surface component that has taken, like, nothing. So, I think you'd be better off down here fitting another hull reinforcement. A 4D hull reinforcement, just because that it gives you the resistance. Because if we go with this heavy duty deep plating as well, heavy duty gives it some very decent resistance bonuses as well. So if we fit a 4D hull reinforcement down here, we're suddenly up to like 6,000 hit points there, and almost 2,700, almost 2,800 here. And that was from the heat damage. Yeah, you're right. That was from me overheating. Yeah, I agree. If facing the module damage, that would be OP. So it was just for my overheating. Which is, again, if you overheat a little bit, sure, your weapon's going to take a small amount of damage, but doesn't really matter. I think I would actually go and say drop the fighter hangar and drop the AFMU and fit 2 hot module reinforcement packs. And we're actually so close on power now that we could maybe, hold on, power distributor is still put in there, that's not right. Power distributor should be there. Can we? No, we can't. Just keep the fuel scoop. I hope we could get away with just using the fuel scoop. What if we keep that on and just turn this one on? That would actually run. That means we could super cruise out if we wanted to. We just wouldn't get our full range until we actually, yeah. How is that to have reactive thermal armor on? So you're asking, right now, we have reactive surface composites on, right? No, hold on. This is the build we have it on. My bad, wrong. Yeah, I don't know why this keeps saying that this is a group 2. It's not. It shouldn't be. So this is the one we've been rebuilding. So you're asking what would happen if I went reactive? What do we have on this right now? We have thermal deep plating. So what would happen if I went reactive with thermal and deep plating? Oh. So before we had like 6,000, now we have 4,000, but the damages is nice. Like the resistance is really, really even by going with reactive surface armor. but with more even resistances. Huh. I might actually like this. Just because this means in case that the shield drops, if something goes terribly wrong and your shields drop, you do have that last line of defense. It's not like as it was before that our explosive and kinetic is just gonna get absolutely shredded. Should I use fixed, gimbaled, or turreted weapons for PvE? I would recommend gimbaled. Yeah, you're right. I'm optimizing for this for the situation with the shield is still up, but I mean, if we look at the mirrored thermal deep plating, like 2,000 hit points is not a lot. I would rather have the like 2,000 extra hit points in those two and then drop down 2,000 in thermal, I think. So keep the reactive and change it over to thermal deep plating. This is pretty well balanced. I like this. Do I need limpets on one? Yeah, in case I want to collect materials, that happens from time to time. But we could actually, if we want to improve it even more, we could say no collectors either. And go with even more hull reinforcement, because just having the hull reinforcements gives us the resistances. Heavy duty and deep plating, right? See, those all just act basically as shield boosters just for hull. Because it's not that often I use the collectors either. And now we're back up to the like 6,000 hit points across the board. Which frankly is overkill. And if we put this back, so we have frameshift drive on 2 and that on 2, we have some spare power to play around with. Because what I'm considering is how much would it do? Do we want more hit points? We probably don't. Should I drop? No. I'm thinking if the armor is a little overkill now. If 6,000 is too much, which I think it is. So I'm thinking if I should drop a little bit of the... Like, drop a few of them. Like, take that out and put another Guardian shield in. Just to boost up my hit points here even more. But of course, that doesn't really help us that much with the resistance tank. Put the fighter back in. Yeah, maybe that's a better choice. So if you go back with a hull down here. Heavy duty deep plating. Oh, not hull. 60 fighter hangar for 2 bays. Or 5 for 1 bay. Put a 6 in for 2 base, we have the room for it. See, this might actually be okay then. We can keep the fighter hangar. So basically, we are dropping the AFMU, we are dropping the collectors. Just to get some extra hull. What if we drop that one again? 3,000. That's still like more than twice what we had before. And it's still pretty nicely spread. I guess there's a bit of playroom what you can do here. Like, you could go AFMU here if you wanted to. I think I'm actually gonna go hull and then go just deep plating, heavy duty deep plating. Like so. What if we actually went heavy duty? I'm just playing around right now. Heavy duty reflective. Hold on. How much was it before? 4,000. 4,386. That's lower. Yeah, okay, we're getting less hit points out of this. So just go deep plating. But no, this is not a mining build. This is a combat build. I think I like this a lot more, actually. I should delete the old... actually, just keep that and just make a new one. I think I want to change it up like this. So get the thermal resistant deep plating on here, and then get the hull reinforcements in with the that we have here. Oh, okay. Hold on, what happened here? Why did our thermal suddenly drop here? Oh, this is the... That's the build we're going for. Much better. Let's bookmark that. Okay. Let's just quickly head over to Inara. And let's have a look. We should have enough to do this on the armor. And we have to do that at Celine Jane, which is in the cook system. How far away is that? Probably further than we want to travel in this thing. 8 jumps. Okay. Are you really ever going to use the second shield cell bank? I don't know. How many did we fire off this time? I fired off... I had 2 left in this fight. So I think I want to keep the second shield cell bank. Andreas says, can anyone give me a hint where I can find sensor fragments? Anywhere you can find sensors and just shoot them to pieces and pick them up. Loudest, I mean, sure, the elite, if you buy, you won't want to buy elite crew, or just don't know what to buy crew at all. Mostly harmless. Do they really get better if you train them? Oh, because of the, yeah, I see. Because of the amount of money they take.
Course dynamics Delta to Echo. Please approach the station at a safe speed and be mindful of other pilots in the area. Access granted. Cleared for landing on docking bay 02.
How much does elite crew take if you just buy one straight off the station?
Scan detected. Scan
Attention.
20%. Oh, that's a lot.
00.
landing gear deployed.
Landing complete. Commence system shutdown. Enjoy your visit, Commander.
We should have handed the mission first. Let's see where we end up. That wasn't too bad.
Scan complete.
Let's fly back and hand in the mission. I don't think we even had access to the mission board. I can't remember. Hold on, did I pay it off now? Yes, I did. No, I think we only, yeah, 4 jumps, that's nothing.
Landing clamps disengaged. Regulate speed until beyond the facility perimeter.
Frameshift drive charging.
You are clear of the facility. Flight control signing off.
Fuel stopping. Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift
Hello, we're on Twitch. We are testing the new shields on the Corvette, and they're definitely not bad. Oh, 2 jumps left. Yeah.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged. Crankshaft drive charging.
But what I really don't get is, I mean, I understand why, if you take an NPC with you, why it will take a cut of your profits. Fair enough. That's okay. I get that. But what I don't get is, why can't you just say, like, you stay at the station while I go out and do other things, and then they don't take a cut from what you're doing? So you could, like, put them in storage, basically.
Fuel scoop disengaged. Crankshaft drive charging.
This kid has to eat, sure.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged.
I agree. It would make a lot more sense if they didn't take money when they were inactive. And yes, the like a retainer so that nobody else hires them makes sense, but okay, fair enough. Let's say it's a retainer. Couldn't he then be just less? So they take, let's say they take 10% when they're active, and they take 5% when they're not active. So it would be less when they are in storage, basically. The NPC label unit would never buy that deal. And I guess it makes, I mean, I'm sitting at almost 13 billion now. I guess I could afford to pay an NPC crew member. And yeah, thanks for the follow, guys, on Twitch.
Delta 2 Echo. We've prepared a landing pad for your arrival, Commander. Welcome to our station. Access granted. Adjust heading for approach to pad 40.
Oops.
Landing successful. Clear to disembark. Report to station services for more information, Commander.
Hull repaired.
Let's take reputation.
Incoming message.
See, this one's pretty good. Oh no, this is not what we want. So here's another one. We could get a novice. Mostly harmless. There's a harmless one, even. Get expert? Why? Why not train them up from harmless? That's more fun. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get one right now. I might, no active crew, I know. Right now I wanted to head out to City Jane.
Ship restraints withdrawn. You are clear to leave.
Do I have a core hunting Python build? I do. I do have a core hunting Python build.
Scan detected.
Actually, I can show you guys because.
Control, signing off.
Hold on a second here. Just gonna do that. Matthew, what is the ship you used to love? But for me, that's the Diamondback. Why do I have so much vision in the cockpit? I don't nearly have as much vision as you do. I don't know. What do you mean, like the field of view?
Frameshift drive charging.
Question. Now you've been playing on keyboard. I don't know, I just cranked the field of view slider all the way up. That's pretty much all I've done. There, just crank that all the way up. That's pretty much it.
Disengaged. Crankshaft drive charging.
I'm using a HOTAS, if that's what you're asking. I don't know, maybe it's the ship, I don't know, why if you have less. Yeah, Andreas, sure, you can send a friend request. Ping me on Discord, because normally if I just get random friend requests, I normally just decline them, so let me know when you send one, then I'll accept it.
Drive charging.
I thought you were gonna try the keyboard for a while. No, that's never been my plan. I'm planning to upgrade my HOTAS to a new one. But I'm not planning to go back to mouse and keyboard. Oh yeah. Yeah, I saw Obsidian did a review of that. One of the Lexcept mouse, right? William, if you're looking for someone to mind with, go down in the description, find the link for Discord. There's a channel over there called Looking for Wing. From time to time, you can find people there who want to go out and mine as well. That's probably your best bet, I think. People asking what ship type is. This is a Federal Corvette. Thank you, Don Laura. Actually, now that mouse is not that difficult to use. It gets really intuitive really quickly. Hold on, give me a second here. See, I knew I had one lying around somewhere. There it is. So the whole mouse body moves. It moves side to side as well, and there's a small analog joystick on what would be your thumb side. Fuel levels. Yeah, next star should be scoopable. Yeah, next star scoopable. We'll get some fuel there. Get back in game. No, I'm not getting the X52. I've actually got the new Peripheral Constellation Alpha stick with their what's they called 50M throttle as well. No, I did a review of this as well, like years ago. I think it was one of the first sponsored reviews I ever did on the channel. And to be honest, if you go on vacation and you only have a laptop with you, taking something like this is not a bad choice. If you want to play Elite, at least. Alternatively, you could take a gamepad with you, but this has the benefit that it also works as a mouse, like a normal mouse, obviously.
Crankshaft drive charging.
Oh, I forgot to fuel scoop. Ah, we probably have enough, right? That should be scoopable as well. 2 jumps out, yeah. Thanks for the follow on Twitch. Gonna see a call for the fuel rats? No, that's okay. I got this. I'll buy a bigger bag and take your hoses with you. Is there a reverse throttle on that HOTAS? I guess that, what do you mean with a reverse throttle? I mean, I just have a small button I press on the side of my HOTAS, that my throttle, that will reverse the throttle. So,
Fuel scoop disengaged. Crankshaft drive charging.
TB8 says, may I ask how the chair is for long-term use? I work and play sitting at the same desk, so 10 plus hours at the same desk. I've been... No, I didn't have this doing my 24-hour live stream, I think, but I've never had any discomfort with this chair. This is the SecretLab Titan, and for me it's been absolute perfect. I mean, if you like your chairs, it is a little on the, like, the foam is a little on the hard side. But if you like your chairs really, really soft, like almost like a recliner kind of thing that you just like sink into, then I don't think it's for you. But it gives really good support, and I've never had any issue with it. Thanks for the follow, by the way, guys. Oh, where are we? And once again, thanks for the follow on Twitch. Oh, it has a center point. Yeah, that doesn't matter. That's okay with me.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Thanks for the follow on Twitch. What did we actually end up with here on... Oh yeah, I was... sorry, there was someone asking for a Python build. I was about to try and find that. Hold on. Mining... Actually, while we're flying here, how much do we have? Like 10,000 light years. I'm going to show you guys this. This is pretty cool, I think. I hope you think as well. And let me put myself down here in the corner so you can actually see things. I have been working on this site, eliteguides.info, and it's coming along pretty nicely, I think. So far, there are still things missing, but let's say we're going to find mining builds. So, if you want a Python, I have a Python with no engineering, both with and without weapons. Gonna give it to you with weapons, I guess. And then you can take it from there.
I just want everyone to know that it is colder than a witch's tit in a brass bra in Indianapolis, Indiana, USA tonight. That is all.
Thanks for the donation. But no, the site is coming along pretty nicely, I think. There's definitely still some work that needs to be done, but I've added just some Twitter feeds so we can follow along with that. And like guides also beginning to be added. Working on finishing up the shield guide in here, so we can get some more guides and tutorials in. Again, ship builds. I've linked in the material finder so you can see where you can get materials with links for videos. And this is pretty cool. There we go. The shield tester has been ported to a web version, which have also been embedded in here. There's been a lot of people who has been really helpful with getting this thing ported over. So now we have access to it on a web version as well. So you can sit in here and play around with it as well. And it's quick. It's really quick. But yeah, stuff is still being added, and it's still, you can see some of them are still pretty much just placeholder stuff. But it's coming along nicely, and I'm hoping to go do like a full-on launch edit at some point. When I mean, the site currently is up, so you can go in and you can have a look at it, but keep in mind that this is work in progress. Anyway, let's see how far we are in game. We probably overshot our destination quite badly. No, it's actually not too bad. The site address is eliteguides.info. I'll post it so you guys can go and see, because it's, again, but keep in mind, thank you, Laura, faster than I am. It is still work in progress, so keep that in mind. Some of the information out there is not yet complete, but there are links for a few of my own builds and stuff like that. I am planning to add a lot more in there before I do the final, like, what I would call first version of it, at least. Let's use this moon to slow us down a little bit. And then slow us down at the second moon. Thanks for the follow on Twitch. And again, thanks a lot for the follow over on Twitch. Gloop of fame, yeah. Can we open up? How close are we actually to Shinrata? Should be pretty close. 100, that's not bad. No, I'd have a, hold on, is the cable long enough that I could show it? I think it is. I have a box like this. Hold on, let me throttle down here so we don't crash into the planet. There we go. I have a small box like this one. Get a little bit more cable. Which is a little dusty by now, but let's get it over here. So see, I have a small box like this. So I could say, oh, let's go over to Elite, which is that one, and turns me to Elite, or I could say go Elite on the other side, which is that one, or go and just capture there. Let's say go and capture the main monitor, and it does that. Go back to Elite, and I can like mute the game and unmute myself and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just a box like that, and it's pretty neat. I mean, it's basically like a Stream Deck, but it's just like with more physical clicky buttons and dials you can turn and stuff like that, which I guess makes it a little bit more fun. But it does the same thing. It's a box made. It's originally made for like sim racing. No, I didn't build it. I got it from a guy called Derek Spear. He has a company called Derek Spear Designs, and they built these boxes. You can buy them. Go and look him up. Like Google him, and you can probably find him. Been working with the guy in the past. Has been like sponsoring some events when I had milestones, that kind of stuff. That would be giving away some of the stuff that he does. Really like them, and I mean, originally they are made for sim racing, but they work very well for Elite. I'm not sure if he still makes them, but at some point he did make one that was like this one, which is like an Elite Dangerous themed one. We get the camera there. So one that looks like this. As you can see, this one also needs to get cleaned because unfortunately I does not have enough room to put it on my desk right now. But I really want to find a way to have that at some point. So you have like momentary switches and momentary buttons, and you have flip switches for when you really want to fire those big weapons. You have to click all those first. Yeah. And more dials and more buttons, and the big button for firing something important or charging your friendship drive or something. But whenever next time I'm doing some reorganizing, I want to try to find a room for this as well. The back got chroma keyed. Okay, let's get some engineering done here. Where do we end up? We ended up with thermal resistant deep plating. You have lots of room. Look at the size behind me. There's a lot less space than you might think. That's the main camera here. Is this it? Yeah, that one's it. So if I go into filters and I turn off the chroma key here, there we go. Walls right there. There we go. Okay, so if we're gonna go with thermal resistant armor instead. And we're just gonna double check that we actually have the materials to complete this. We do. Yes, we are gonna scrap that. Did my rabbits ever eat the Ethernet cable? Yes, that has definitely been a thing. And I have one cable that is a like 15-meter run that goes through 2 walls. And when they decided to chew off one end of that, and I have to redo that run, that was when I decided to terminate it in the living room where the bunnies are, to terminate that in the box instead, so that the cable run would only go from the box to the switch, which is like a meter. Meaning that if they chew that cable, I only have to replace a meter and not a cable stretching 15 meters through 2 walls. And the bodies have also cost me a pair of headphones. There was one time when I just like took off my headphones, put them on the table, and then had the wire hanging down from the table. And the bodies thought, that looks yummy. Yoink. And then they chew it over. So that cost me a pair of new headphones. No, not pin. I don't want to pin that. I want to pin this one. But I do want my heavy deep plating experimental effects. Let's go for Shirasa. And and it was a good pair of headphones.
Ship restraints disengaged. Commence.
Oh, trust me, Recycle, they have plenty of stuff to chew on. But they also know what they're not allowed to chew on, and that is a lot more fun to chew on. But they're cute. I like the bunnies.
Disengaging automated flight control routine. Safe travels, Commander.
Exactly. A crimping tool and a bunch of plugs and cable. I bought, after they chewed over the first cable, I just bought 100 meters of Cat 6 cable. And I just stored that like on top of somewhere, like on a cupboard somewhere, together with a bag full of RJ45 heads and a crimp tool. So just make your own cables from now on. How are we actually looking on armor now? The resistance is already better. How much has the PvE Corvette changed since the posted version? Quite a bit. I mean, the shield boost, the shield generator has been completely reworked. There's a prismatic on it now. There's a bi-weave on the old one. All the shield boosters has been reworked. Most of the internal compartments has now also been reworked. There's been a few minor changes now to the armor as well. So, like, I would say about half the modules has changed since that build. There will be an updated guide, but as I said at the beginning of the stream, this is still experimental at the moment. I'm testing out the new changes, and when I'm happy with them, and when I like the way they are, I'm going to make a published video on the new build. So that is going to come out eventually, when I'm happy with it. I don't know how many iterations it's going to take. Now we are the second iteration today, so... Hold on, Donglor, I'll get you an updated build link so you have the latest one. There you go. That is the current version, but as always, it may not be the final. How's the rebuy going on this one? Is it still in the 48 thing? Oh. What? Did I read that wrong? How? Why did my rebuy drop 20 million? Oh, because I had a bounty, so it was doubled. Is that it? Why did I skip the last part of the grade 3 engineering? Because it doesn't matter. It only matters that you finish the last grade 5 upgrade. All the intermediate ones doesn't matter. You just need enough to get all the way up. It's a bug? Okay. Okay, when you visited the engineer, the rebuy. Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you, Frontier. I just never noticed that the rebuy gets reduced whenever you visit an engineer. I hope I have a lot of heavy duty deep plating hull reinforcements lying around in Jameson, so I hope I have enough to fit it out. There's no bugs, Elite, only unexpected features. Oh, come on. Working as intended. There we go. Okay, so let's go in, let's get this thing refitted. And let's see where we end up with the armor stats. We should be pretty good, I think. At least the shield stats are really good.
Request approved. Proceed to Bay 10.
Proceed to Bay 10. Alex, are you saying that Frontier is only Thargoids? There we go. There's the final conclusion.
Ship is on the ground. Commence power down. It's good to have you with us, Commander.
No, Alex, that's two Alexes. That's confusing. No, that's not. Oh, no, mate. That's correct. As Dave also posted that corrosive doesn't stack, so there's no need to stack more than one corrosive weapon. Okay, let me just quickly get the build up here again so I can actually see what we did to it. Prismatic shield, fighter, fuel scoop, Guardian, 4 Guardian modules, auto field maintenance units, we're gonna sell that. Cargo rack, sell that. And the collector, store. Then we got a transfer, 4D heavy duty deep plating. Had one lying around, that was lucky. 3D heavy duty deep plating, yes, perfect. But I didn't have a 1, so I have to go and buy one. That's annoying. So we have to go near that. I'm not going to do that now. Thanks for your subscription on YouTube. Okay. Engineering that shouldn't be too difficult, but I don't think it's something we're going to do now. We can still go and have a look at where we're at. So we're still sitting at those 3024 shield hit points with all resistances plus 70%. Our armor has now been nice balanced out here, around 33%, and decent hull, decent armor as well. I like this. That should definitely give us a lot of help against phasing weapons. The Dawn said your YouTube videos compelled me to buy this game. Well, glad I could pique your interest in Elite. Okay, you know what? I think that's gonna be where we're gonna leave this for now. Where? Can't remember. Hold on. Who is it who does? What am I looking for here? I'm looking for the engineer that does. Oh, that's probably Celine Jane, isn't it? It is Celine Jane. I should have thought of that. So we have to go back to Celine Jane. I'm probably just gonna fit it on the Anaconda, then fly that out there and then back, because I don't want to fly the Corvette all the way out there, to be honest. But I should probably get my Jumper Conda back. Where did that go? Camera Conda. Start that transfer. There we go. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it for this time. It was a good test. Did some changes. I think I'll have to try and find another of these missions with like wing missions and try to go out and see if the hull holds out a little bit better next time. It wasn't bad. I mean, it could definitely do the mission. No problem there. But it would be nice if it could survive a little bit with a little bit more confidence because the amount of bleed through was quite significant. But anyway, that's going to be it for this time. I don't know when the next live stream scheduled is. Probably going to be next week, Tuesday, 8 o'clock in-game time, so same time as usual. I might do some like random live streams at some point, play some more Satisfactory, which I've been streaming quite a bit last weekend. Probably going to stream more of that in the coming week. But yeah, I really hope you liked the video. If you did, remember to go down and follow the channel if you're on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, you go down and hit the subscribe button. Also, check out the description. Plenty of links down there, both for Discord if you want to join the channel's community. There are donation links. Patreon if you want to support on a more permanent basis. And there's also the merch store where you can buy cool stuff like mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, that kind of stuff. All in the description below the stream, both on YouTube and on Twitch. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. And also next time, I'll see you guys in space.